Hey everybody, it's Chief Gen X once again. Today I'd like to hit a couple of topics. Well, one of them at least. Um, Today I want to go back to my original plan here, the Gen X portion of my topics. Everybody talks about how Gen X would live off water and we'd run out, got kicked out of the house, and then told not to come back until the lights had come on and everything else, which is all true. We did live off of everybody else's water from the water spigot and everything else, and we were told not to come back till the lights came on. And if we were late, we got our butts whooped or grounded for umpteen thousand years. It felt like. But I want to specifically hit on the water. Now, you just people think like, well, you're gonna drink out of the water and you drink out of the water hose. Isn't that nasty? It's called an immune system, folks. Get over it. That's what you built up when you were, Gen Xers. We have this immune system cockroaches are going to die before us. Okay, folks. Gen Xers are going to be around here for a long time. Okay, we are going to outlive most of you people. And from what I've seen, millennials, we're probably going to outlive most of you panty wasters. The water from the hose is one of the things that we had that was a great factor on building the immune system. The water that came out of the hose, when they say, hey, that's what we drank out of, yeah. We didn't go out there and suck the thing right out of the freaking nose, right out through our hose, put the damn thing right into our mouth and suck it right out of the hose. You waited a little bit. Come on, we had a little bit of common sense, even at 8 and 10, 9, 6, 7 years old. We knew you had to wait a couple minutes, at least 15 to 20 seconds for that water to get out of there, because if you drink out of that water hose right off the bat when you turn that water on, you were probably going to get third-degree burns in that tongue of yours, and your lips are going to be chapped for a while, because that water coming out of that hose during the summertime was blazing freaking hot. You could boil peanuts with that thing and get goobers within 10 seconds. It was hot. And any kid past the age of 7 would tell you during that time frame is you better wait for a little while. It's going to hurt if you don't. And if you didn't, they had a good snicker. You had to wait till the hot water comes through there. While the hot water was flowing through there, all the rust particles come flying out of there. So you made sure all the nasty stuff came out of there, and for the most part, all the rust came flying out of there with it. Now you didn't go in there and suck face with the dang water hose thing. You hold your mouth in there a couple inches away from the water hose. That way you look like you're French kissing the dang thing. It's like French kissing your sister. Gross. I didn't have a sister until a long time ago. No offense, AJ. All right. You didn't do that stuff. You waited. Got a little bit of waves from you. You let it spread out there. You could feel the water you could feel the water inside the hose too. When you wrap your hand around it. It was hot. I mean, it was. You could boil peanuts, and you could get it on. That thing was a little bit warm, so you waited a little bit, or you give it to the poor sucker that wasn't waiting, was too busy, too big of a hurry to get water because thinks he was dying from thirst. He's been out there just as long as everybody else has. He's got to have him some water. He can go whine bits and complain about it for the next 20 minutes about how his mouth is hurt. He didn't have time to hurt. Oh, my mouth is hurt. My tongue burnt. You big dumbass. You should have waited 10 seconds. You wouldn't have that problem. Yeah, that's how we take care of problems too. We sarcasm, humiliation. It worked. Just ask your Gen Xers. It always worked. So you waited. You test that. You kept on sucking down the water. You pass it off to your friends. You're still hungry, you're still thirsty. You pass it off. You didn't sit there and hog it up. You just couple, about 10, 20 seconds. You pass it around. Got your drink, got you satisfied. On the bikes, back at it you go. You get thirsty, you go down to the next folks. Back at it again. You didn't have this thing called a water bottle. Water bottle. They didn't even have these things when I was a kid. Come on now. All right, let's get real. Gen Xers didn't have water bottles. We had water hoses. They were better than a bottle because you didn't have to pay for it. Somebody did, but we didn't. So, it's just one of those things about water, the water thing with the water hose. Clamped on it, you felt the water come through. When it stopped burning your hand, you started getting cool. That's when you drink it. You didn't suck face with the hose. You didn't let it step away from the water, let it spray out a little bit. You passed it around. You didn't be a hog on it. You did that a little too much. You fix to get your ass whooped. Especially in my hometown. You hog in the water. You about to get that hose wrapped around your neck and strung around a little bit. Simple things like that when we were growing up. So when they say we drink from the water hose, that's exactly what we did. We drank from the water hose. We drank from the neighbor's water hose. We drank from our own water hoses. We drank from everybody's water hose. Because it was a town raising a bunch of hoodlum, feral kids. And we were a bunch of crazy little kids who would just ride around the neighborhood like we were nuts. Or we'd go down to the basketball court, which was, one time it was a couple blocks away from my house. One time it was about several miles away from my house. It just depends how far it was at the time. And we'd ride around for days and long hours and everything. We'd go around having a blast. All right? So that's how we got our one of many ways Gen Xers' immune systems are going to be stronger than any kid alive these days. Wasn't the little inoculations you got every time you turn around. It was the water, the freaking mud and the guts and the skinny dipping and all the stuff here you did with all the bugs and vermin and animals you played with that might have had rabies. I don't know, maybe kind of, sort of. Had bugs on them that you couldn't describe, and your parents freaked out if they ever told you. If you ever told them. We had better immune systems. We're going to live better, longer than cockroaches. Just plain and simple. The water was awesome because it was straight out of the hose. It was straight out of the water, straight out of the thing. It wasn't this cityfied BS where, it was just good stuff. All right, so if anybody ever asks you, you're a Gen Xer, ask you, you ever drink from a water hose? It's yes. Yes, we did, and it didn't kill us. This is Chief Gen X. I'm out.